Happy Thursday. Today is April the 9th, 2026. Welcome back to the Roadmap to Freedom Personal Growth Healing Program. Today I'm finalizing the last segment on communication. We cannot read the other person's mind. The other person can't read our mind. So we can't assume what they're thinking. It's really important to communicate and asking for feedback. Do you understand? Or other words. And they should be, if you're listening, you should be possibly asking questions if you don't understand. Now, I'm going to talk about change, and I know change is hard. It's hard for everybody, and we can't change anybody but ourselves. So basically, change begins with you. To request or demand change is useless. They've got to want to do it. If you respect somebody, chances are eventually they're going to respect you back. They might, if you're asking for respect, respect is earned. So I've always tried to treat people with respect so they respect me back, and it doesn't always happen that way. But just know, if they're not respecting you, it's all about them, not about you. Please don't take it serious, okay? I've always strived to have a life of freedom. And a wise person once told me, if you want freedom, you have to extend freedom to everybody in your family. And that can be very difficult. You can't control them. You've got to give them freedom. And eventually freedom will find you. Does that make sense? If you find that your communication is being met with argumentative people, there are a few things that you can do. I know I don't take it personally. If they are angry, understand it's not about you, it's about them. Remain respectful. When people are on what seems to be attacking you and talking to you about things that they don't like about you, chances are they're talking about things that they have themselves, but they can't recognize it in themselves. Their ego won't let them, so they recognize it in you. If the situation gets out of control, try to stop the argument in any way you can. Try repeating over and over again what they are saying. Well, what I'm hearing you say is blah, 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 blah. And perhaps, your mind has twisted it based on your life experience. And if they say, no, that's not what it is, well, maybe try to tell me in a different way, because I'm trying to understand what you're telling me. And if it's getting heated, then maybe you can change the dance. My father taught me this. He once told, when I was going through the worst time in my life after I left my ex-husband, and my ex-husband was, really flipping out on me. He says, try to change the dance. And I said, what do you mean? And he says, well, you do this, and he does that. And then you react this way and he reacts that way. And it's a dance that you've kind of created over the years that you've been together. So when he starts flipping out, and what you would like to do is, kind of perhaps lash back at him, why don't you try remaining calm and saying something calmly? And it worked. It worked, but it didn't work overnight. It took me repeating that over and over and over again, probably for the course of months, if not years. So I changed myself. I created a new habit, and eventually I wasn't fun for him anymore. He couldn't control me. He moved on to somebody else. Because staying in the same dance tangles us into a web of arguments. And the communication starts breaking down. Quite often, I tend to walk away when somebody's all argumentative and angry. I'm not interested anymore. I really truly do want peace in my house and in my life. And they might view it as a weakness. I view it as wisdom. I view it as maturity. It's not easy to shut your mouth when all you want to do is scream and walk away. Because anything that you're saying in a heated argument, nobody's listening. All they're doing is yelling at each other. Nobody's listening. You're not getting anywhere. So why go around in the circle, 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 circle? I finally got sick of it. And last but not least, maybe you can journal this after it's all over. Maybe you can sit down after you calm down and feel, the anxiety leaving, and you can give it some thought and think, okay, I changed something there. Did it work? Think about it. Start to analyze it. Did it work? Did it help me? Don't worry about whether it helped the other person. Did it help you? And if it did, keep it up. And if you can think of something you could do better, do it next time. Because this doesn't happen overnight. Again, it's a baby step. Baby steps lead to steps, steps lead to strides, and strides lead to a new life. Remember that? So now you have a few ideas of how to better communicate, what to do when the communication turns into an argument and gets heated. Make up your own ideas, figure out what works for you. Have yourself a wonderful evening. I hope you join me tomorrow. Namaste.